It had been 5 days since the rain had last let up, and even longer since I'd last left my land. You see, heavy rain quickly turns the once calm and gentle creek into an uncaring, impassable torrent. I hadn't brought much food with me, and it was getting harder to find edibles in the rain. If I wanted to survive, I would have to brave the beast. Or at least that's what the forecast said. Today, though, was sunny Saturday. Calm, peaceful, with scattered showers and a scattered brain. You ever have so much you want to do that you end up just wasting time bouncing between things? Start up and put down. Well, this week, that was me. My camp was a wreck, I had 20 projects going on, and had completed absolutely none of them. This was a battle of priorities, and I had no clue what I was doing. Most of Saturday I spent playing around in the creek, gathering rocks and changing the way the water flows. I'm pretty sure my goal was to make a silt trap, but don't tell anyone, I think I was just having fun.
Well, hey, would you look at that? I doubt that you can see it, but there's definitely silt layering the bottom. Now I just gotta figure out a way to collect it, because that can break down into some nice soil. I'm gonna change directions a little. I'm not gonna work on the creek right now, because I think that's not a wise call, because it's supposed to rain from Monday to Monday. So I think I'm gonna work on the quote-unquote chicken coop, which will actually just be a storage shed now.
But with the realization that my actions now had consequences, I started tearing down what once was my chicken coop.
How do we get that, huh?
Now, I had great plans for this new structure, and I wanted to do it well. So Sunday afternoon, I walked the road between my car and my land in search for usable timber.
It might be a little hard to see it, but I want this log. But the problem is that it's longer than my tape measure, which is 16 feet long. And if I did my mental math correctly, it weighs around 400 pounds. And I definitely I'm not strong enough to carry that. So let's find a different one.
When they carved the road, they had cut a ton of trees and just left them there to rot. Some of my neighbors had given me the okay to take the dead wood and use it as I willed, so I did. Have you ever tried to carry a 300-pound log across half a mile of Rocky Mountain terrain? Well, let me tell you from first-hand experience, it is no fun. But with the logs present, I stripped them down and began to set them in place.
If my parents saw me now, they'd probably cry and wonder how their son grew up to be a stripper.
I had only buried them about 2 feet deep because I figured they wouldn't really last long anyways, so to compensate, I put in support beams between them, and I think now might be a good time to say...
Times when I really wish I had a ladder.
Apparently, I just really like to do things the hard way, but pretty quickly, I had the once broken tarp above some of my new shed.
Okay, it's not the most professional thing, so I do apologize, but my hair just keeps getting in my way, so I'm gonna have to break out the unicorn horn. Well, hey, would you look at that? It stopped raining just in time for me to show you my secondary rain shedding structure. But I think I might have miscalculated the tarp size. Just a little bit.
Since I had the tarp in place, I figured it would be a good time to make a mold for the compressed earth bricks. I had brought a bag of ready-mixed concrete on Friday, and I planned on using it for the walls of the mold. I wasn't sure if the concrete alone would do for strength, so I reinforced it with the leftover electric fence wire. This machine deserves a video of its own, so for now, just know that it works great, but it could be better.
Oops. Well, I was making bricks and wasn't paying attention, and my anchor point snapped. Now that I've got the mold taken care of, I guess I need to figure out a way to anchor this correctly, or at least well. Check out how many bricks I made.
It was Tuesday now, and it had been raining off and on since Sunday evening. Not exactly what was in the forecast, but I didn't mind. The rain makes it difficult to record, but for all of Tuesday and Wednesday, I worked on the walls of my new storage shed.
What I did was I placed these bigger rocks here, and then I would fill in smaller rocks in between, and then I came through and poured this very fine gravel that I got from the creek bed. And these rocks are pretty sturdily in there, and that will act as a buffer to limit how much leaching the clay on top that I'm going to place will do.
There is a definite draw to this lifestyle, and honestly, if I didn't have bills, I would have no qualms with staying here forever. And while the idea of a simple life is definitely alluring, one thing I wished I understood better before I started would be that things take time. When I was doing research on survival in the wild, I thought I'd understood the time cost of what I'm doing, but living out here made me realize just how insignificant my efforts truly are. On a $0 budget, I was working from sunrise to sundown every day and had so little to show for it that it was almost laughable. If you want to live simply, it's wise to assume things are going to take 10 times longer than you think. And that's no exaggeration. My neighbors have been here for 6 years and they're still living in the shack that they put up on their first year, and they have no garden.
I can hear my own heart breaking. Till you hear the sound of my heart breaking for you.
I mean, look at this. It was Thursday, and this is all that I have to show for my week's work. Now, you could make the argument that the closer you are to something, the less you are able to see, and maybe that was the case for me, I'm not really sure. But the point I'm trying to make is that what you typically see of the simple life oftentimes idolizes it, and when people try to transition over, they, like me, spin their wheels seemingly going nowhere, get discouraged, and give up prematurely because things aren't always what they seem to be. I mean, take this video for example. The intro looked truly interesting, but I must apologize as I have no direction for this video. I'm not trapped on my land like I thought I would be at the start. I haven't done anything worthy of a story this week, and maybe that's okay. Life is seldom some butt-clenching story waiting to be told, even though that's what we're raised to believe. As I laid the bricks I'd made the previous month, I thought about deleting what I had edited in this video so far, but it just didn't feel right. I wanted my story to be told how it truly is. I don't want these videos just to be a highlights reel.
Well, that's a bummer. My time-lapse stopped recording because of low battery, and I can't even check and see how much it recorded. But this is what I got done, so let's take a look.
I want truth and honesty to take priority over what sells and over what is popular. That way, when people make the transition to this lifestyle, they make an informed decision and know exactly what they're getting into.
What happens when it rains a lot is a lot of the water comes through the road and rushes over into my property, and it drags a whole bunch of rocks and stuff into what is otherwise perfectly good soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put stakes every 6 to 8 inches or somewhere in there. That way when the water comes through, it'll catch some of the natural debris such as leaves and stuff, making an eventual barrier. That way the main flow of water will continue down the road through the... What is the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the word. The thing that goes under the culvert. There we go.
I'm personally disappointed in the lack of story in this video, but I'm proud that the truth remained. I hope you enjoyed at least some of it, and I hope you'll enjoy the next one. But until I see you in the field, happy hunting.
I'm so glad it's Friday because I want to play in the creek so bad. But first, I gotta edit and post this video, and then I can play.